What is going on, everybody? We are recording. Welcome back to the Clashing Conferences podcast. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Fantastic.
Doing well.
Still good.
Good. Well, I'm glad to be here with you guys. Looks like we have a Phillies rep here tonight. What's up, Kyle? Thanks for filling in.
Absolutely. Hey, just wanted to ask, has anybody seen Juice on the side of a milk cart? He's been missing since the very first episode, and I'm just concerned about his whereabouts and his safety at this point.
When Embiid went down, he went with him.
He must have, yeah. He must have. Did he get suspended 25 episodes like Paul George got 25 games? Is that what it was?
Not to my knowledge.
Did Juice get busted for PEDs and we didn't know about it? Must have been. Man.
It might have been me, man. First time he met me, hosted at his barbershop, did a show there, and haven't seen or heard from him since. So it might be me.
That sounds like a more likely reason is that it was Mike.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my PED story, but
had nothing to do with the 1 hour Michael Jordan LeBron conversation.
Oh.
Christy, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. We're made it through March Madness weekend. We're alive and well.
That's got to be tough for you.
That's better than you could say for Wisconsin.
As a full-time bar person, sports bar person. I mean, March Madness has got to be not as fun as for the rest of us, maybe.
I mean, I don't get to watch as much as you guys do because I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, making sure everybody's happy and good. But yeah, the collective air being let out of the building on Thursday when there was still 8 hours of basketball left after the Badgers lost was disheartening for sales numbers wise. But
no, I'm sure.
You know, what are you gonna do?
yeah, you figure that could probably go one of two ways, right? Either everybody leaves or everybody just gets hammered even more and drowns their sorrows, right?
But I've told you guys, Wisconsin sports fans, when you lose, they don't drown their sorrows in the bar. Like, they close their tab, they tip like not so good and go home.
And they don't come back on Friday, that's for sure.
Oh, they came back on Friday, and they came back on Friday in full effect to drown their sorrows the next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that it made up for it. So yeah.
Good.
Another wrong take by Paul.
Surprise. That
I'm sorry. I forgot I'm hosting. Patty, it's good to have you back this week. How you been, bud?
Good to be back, everybody. Hanging in there. Long days with baseball coming up and being in it. So, but excited to be back. Excited to talk some hoops as always. A little upset I'm going to miss all sports after this because I know it's going to be a majority of March Madness. So that makes me a little bit sad. But we're here. We're ready to go. I'm excited.
Good. Wait, let me give a quick recap on the internal competition. We had 3 categories last week. First one being steals by any single player. That one went to Portland with a high of 4. Good job, Paul. The second category was threes, team total. That went to the Hornets as expected with 22. And TIR went to the Hornets.
Yeah, baby.
And
my favorite
Ball got
category.
him. Yep. Clocking in at 42.30, which is actually a really good TIR rating. You don't know that yet because it's new, but it's a good one. So that puts
And
our
who was
current
that? Which player was that?
LaMelo Ball.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't even Con.
I told Paul it was going to be LaMelo Ball. And you. I told you both.
Gotta quit
You
winning,
did.
Mike.
You did.
Okay.
Getting all these points.
That puts the scoreboard. We got Mike at the top at 6, Christy with 4, Team Philly 2, Paul 2, and Team Boston 1. Now that Patty is here repping the Celtics, maybe they will be able to get some points on the board with the categories for this week. So we'll see what happens. But with that being said, let's open up the floor. And who would like to go first?
Oh, I'll go. My team sucks.
She's like, let me get it out of the way.
Let me just get it out of the way. Let's see. 1-5 since Bam had his 83-point game. You know, that's just great. We were getting ready to take over 5th place from Orlando and then just fell apart. And now we're chilling at 9th, because like we said, death taxes and Miami Heat in a play-in game. So, we're just sitting a half a game ahead of Mike's Hornets over there in 9th place. And yeah, that's about where we're at. And I'm not looking too great coming into the next 4 or 5 games either, because we've got some tough teams coming up and some crazy schedule with like a road game and a home game the next day, like back to back, like in Indiana and then back in Miami. So I don't have a lot of faith in my team right now. I'm just throwing that out there, and I threw that out there last time, and then they went on a run. So fingers crossed it'll happen again. But yeah, no, the stats are terrible. Like when certain player combinations are on the floor together, we can't win to save our lives, and it's our best players, and they can't figure out a way to play together. So, hey, I'll just take a win where I can, and I'll leave it at that. And go ahead, gloat, Mike. Gloat all you want, Mike. Just go for it. Ready? Go.
I got nothing to really. I mean, we beat you head to head last Tuesday. You know, we're on a roll right now. We're back to winning some games, and you guys have lost 5 straight.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm feeling good. But looking at these standings, I was looking at this earlier today, and you know, we're both basically, we could fall anywhere from 5th to 10th. You know, the standings from 10th beyond, we're in the play. We're making at least the play in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the next team back is 8 games behind the Hornets.
Yeah.
So with 10 games to play, there's no way that either one of our teams are not going to get at least into the play-in. But, you know, I mean, 5th place is only 3 games ahead of the Hornets and 2.5 games ahead of you.
Oh, I know, that's what's so
like,
crazy
that's
is 5 through,
teams
I know,
from 5 to 10 is right next to each other. A lot could change over these last 10 or 12 games.
And it's
super important.
Yeah, it's so easy for that to change quick with literally 3 games spanning 5th through 10th place, but then you've got that 14.5 game jump when you get up there to Detroit and
one of those top teams goes on a 3-game losing streak. You know, Toronto or Atlanta, they're not that good that they couldn't avoid a 3-game losing streak impossibly. And next thing you know, they're the team in 10th.
Yeah. But regardless, I'm ready for the plan. I'm used to it. Like I said, I'm ready.
Well, just throwing this out there, Mike, your team plays the Sixers on Saturday, and Christy, we play you on Monday. So, and we should have PED George back starting tomorrow. Maxey is likely back next week. Joel Embiid, I mean, I'll probably have to phone a friend and call Juice to see when Joel Embiid will be back. But maybe they'll come back together and hold hands on the court. But it's actually pretty funny that the Sixers are still in 7th place, considering they haven't played with Maxey, Embiid, or Paul George in like 2 weeks. Solid, right? And shout out to VJ Edgecombe, man. VJ Edgecombe is playing his tail off. I think he dropped 35 last night.
Edgecombe. There's at least one R in there.
Well,
there's a couple R's if you listen to it closely.
Yeah, I call him what he should be called. I don't make those mistakes. But you know, I do want to go on a little bit of a rant. What would a podcast be that I'm on without a little bit of a rant? Chrissy, you said your team sucks, but at least your general manager doesn't trade a guard that was supposed to be the cornerstone of your future. And the reason for it is because you said that you can't find playing time with him because we have too many guards on the team. Then you trade him to Oklahoma City, and man, he's averaging like 20 minutes a game in Oklahoma City, where they're guard heavy and they have an all-star studded lineup. But he's getting 20 minutes a game and playing great for them. But we had to get Cam Payne, who was over in Serbia 3 weeks ago. That's who we get him. He's one of our guards when we could have had Jared McCain still on this team. I don't understand it.
Did you, because you played them last night, right?
Yes.
Did you see Maxey's look on his face when Jared McCain hit the 3 right in front of the bench or right in the front top of the key?
Yep. I was doing the same thing. The only difference was Maxey kind of slid back in his bench seat and was like side-eyeing people on the bench while he was laughing. I was like, good. I hope he goes off for 40. I thought he was. I thought he was going to go off for 40. I thought it was going to be a big you-know-what game where he was just going to shove it straight down Daryl Morey's throat. Luckily, he forced it a little bit, but he still had a really good game. But I like the fact that the crowd gave him a standing ovation. You could tell the love was there from the players after the game. Like they all did their handshakes with him still. They were all hugging and talking, and smiles on all their faces. Dumbest move the Sixers, well, not ever, but dumbest move the Sixers have done in quite some time. I think it's officially, you can put a nail in the process, because trading Jared McCain just kind of killed it. So, Nick Nurse is a horrible coach. Just want to throw that out there. Him complaining last night to the refs, saying Oklahoma City fouls too and everything. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that has nothing to do with anything. He's not wrong, but it has nothing to do with anything of what happened last night. Just face the fact that you traded Jared McCain, you got him out of town, and it was a bonehead move, and it's going to come back and bite him. It's going to come back and bite him.
So speaking of the continuation or the end of the process, I believe today Markelle Fultz just got a job in Toronto.
Yes, he did.
He did. Yep.
But I told you when that Jared McCain trade happened, I was like, why of all teams would you send him to the Oklahoma City Thunder? I mean, it sounded like, that was like a Howie deal, how Howie screws people over.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. Good call on that.
You didn't get A.J. Brown, too, in the deal somehow.
Yeah, maybe they did, but it's going to happen post June 1st.
Titans A.J. Brown, I mean.
Yeah. Crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, the only thing worse in my Sixers tenure in the last 10 years was the fact that we could have drafted Tatum and we could have drafted Jaylen Brown in back-to-back years, but nope.
I was gonna bring that up, and when you said the worst move they've ever made, and I was like, didn't you trade up? Didn't you guys trade up to give us Jaylen Brown, basically?
Oh yeah. It's not the worst, but that wasn't Daryl Morey. That was the problem. Because Daryl Morey probably would have just traded the picks completely and traded them for James Harden back then. So that's probably what would have happened then. But yeah, it's good times. Good times to be a Sixers fan. They're still exciting though. Edgecombe, VJ's fun, man. And when Maxey's back, Maxey's one of the top, 20 guys in the league. So he's fun to watch. They're just they are fun, but it's a damn shame that we traded McCain. Damn shame.
When are they scheduled to come back?
So Maxey should be back. They're saying the second week of April, so the week after Easter. Paul George is going to play tomorrow night, and Embiid, who knows? They may hold him out until Maxey comes back. They're probably just, with 10 games left, he probably won't play again in the regular season. I'll be shocked. Because like Mike said, I mean, the fluctuation between that 5th and 10th seed, like right now we're a game ahead of the Heat, who are in, what did you say, Chrissy, 10th or 9th?
Ninth. We're in 9th, you're in 8th. Yeah.
You're a game and a half ahead of us in 10th.
Yeah. And then we're a game and a half out of 5th.
Yeah, so exactly. It's like 1 or 2 game losing streak for you makes a hell of a lot of difference towards the end.
Yep. So they're, like you said, though, they're all in the playing game. I mean, that's the very worst case scenario.
Yep.
And anything can happen, as Christy knows over the last few years. In that playing game, anything can happen, right? So we'll see what happens.
Well, like you said, we play you on Monday, but we play in Indiana on Sunday night and then fly back to Miami to play you guys in Miami. And I'm like, that's just horrible schedule.
Yeah.
But
well, the Indiana game is just a practice. That's all that is. That's just a practice.
Have you watched my team play in the last, 8 games?
Indiana's looking. Trying to see
Indiana
if they can
just
get that
snapped their 16-game losing streak.
I know, that's what makes me nervous. I'm like, we're going to lose to the team that's last.
Yep.
It can't be much worse than that. It's got to get better, right? Patty, what's been going on in Boston, man? What's been going on in Boston?
They had a pretty good week. The week that I missed, they were up and down. The Knicks are having a very good 2 weeks, so the Celtics are only up a half a game on them right now. I really would prefer to stay as the 2 seed over the 3 seed. I mean, either way, it looks like they're kind of inbound for one another. But my hope is that if you're the 2 seed and for some reason that I don't think will happen, but if for some reason this Cade injury is longer than people are thinking it's going to be and the Pistons slip up, then you're getting a low seed in round 2 and you wouldn't have to play Cleveland or the Knicks till round 3. So to me, that's kind of the important part. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that the Pistons are going to fall, like even without Cade. I think they're okay to get through, Miami or Charlotte or, the Sixers, whoever they end up getting. But What in the God's name are people doing on the radio at this hour? Sorry. But I think things are good. To all those listening, the maintenance staff here is popping off at 7:20 p.m. about celery.
About celery?
So, there's a bunch of celery in the bag. That's what I'm hearing. So, Celtics celery doesn't matter. Celtics
That's definitely code, man.
That has to be code. Yeah, it has to be code.
What happened to your Celtics the other night, Patty? Man, I was cheering for Boston just because I hate Rudy Gobert. And what happened?
I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I know they probably should have won, but at the same time, I think that maybe because the West is so loaded, we're maybe underrating this Timberwolves team a little bit. And I know it's the regular season, but the NBA is star driven, and I get that you need a bench, but Edwards, Randall, Gobert is a hard three to play anybody against, and I think the Celtics, especially the Celtics are still getting there. I think they're still figuring out. We've talked about the last couple weeks. Are they going to start Neemias Queta? Are they going to start Vucevic? Is Vucevic going to be the guy off the bench? So when they run into a team with an elite center like Rudy Gobert, even though he's not offensively elite, but at least an elite defensive center, they have to lean towards Queta because Vucevic is a little undersized, kind of been his whole career. He's not really super great defensively. So I think that is the Celtics' one knocking point right now is when they run into an elite big man, they're in a little bit of trouble because they're undersized. They want to play teams that play fast. They want to have Tatum, Brown, White, and then either Pritchard or Hauser out there and play small. So just not a good matchup for them. But we'll see. I'm excited. This is a tough week. They got Oklahoma City coming up tomorrow. So that should be, I believe that's the ESPN matchup or the Peacock matchup. I'm not sure who has Wednesday nights now. I think it's still ESPN on Wednesdays and then Peacock on the other days.
The games tonight the primetime games tonight are terrible. I don't know what happened. You need to stop putting some of these teams that are on there. I think the Suns and other people, you need to stop.
They Suns ain't been too bad lately.
No, most of the time they're not. But tonight I was looking at it because I was going to see if there was going to be a game on while we got some of these pods, and I was extremely disappointed with what I saw.
There's only 4 games tonight. Yeah, there's only 4 games in the whole NBA.
But one of them's the Hornets. So, that's enough for everybody.
Well, they're also playing the Kings. So
yeah, we're favored by 18.5. I took the points.
Smart move.
Do they have the days and times and service providers pre-figured out for the season, but then they just figure out which teams to throw in those slots as the season goes on?
For the most part, yes, but I believe towards the end of the year they start to flex that a little bit.
It's kind of like the NFL where they actually announce who's going to be on what provider before. They don't so it's not hey, the Wizards are going to be on NBC and they could be the Tuesday night game of the week. They announce who the Tuesday night game of the week is for March in October. They
they won't change it.
They will late in the season, but I don't believe it. I believe it's only for Sunday night. I don't think they can change the Tuesday because
travel.
What I don't know if it's because of travel, but I think it's more because of individual TV rights during the week. The Celtics have Nesson, so they probably have certain. They're probably promised certain game rights to. Or the MSG for the Knicks. The Knicks play on Peacock tonight. I believe they're one of the games that's on Peacock tonight. So MSG loses that game that week. So they have to know ahead of time. But I believe Sundays, since the start time can fluctuate so much, you could be a 3 p.m. start or a 6 p.m. start. I believe Sundays they can flex who the coverage is. Okay. I'm not. Don't quote me on that, Paul, but when you Google
that would make sense.
But
TV controls sports, man. TV controls everything, so that would make a lot of sense.
I'm sure with those deals and everything that they pay for, they absolutely reserve the right to move pretty much whatever they want, wherever they want, within reason, within enough time, I would think.
Well, especially now that they went back to ESPN, since we know ESPN and that whole Disney conglomerate runs 90% of sports anyway.
So it says, this is basically what I'm getting from the Google machine is that basically NBC has the right to flex games in and out with prior advance. So it says
what I figured.
they scratched a game on December 8th between Phoenix and Minnesota and added a Laker Piston game later in the year. They said it's only happened once or twice, but it's not but NBC does have the power to do it.
That's a weird
That's
swap.
earlier in the year than I would have expected it to be allowed.
Yeah. It says basically this is an article from November 26th. The Pacers, after their 2-15 start, have been notified of the loss of 3 national TV games as networks flex them out of the national ratings because people thought they might be better even without Halliburton. But obviously they're not. So
No, not at all.
So has anybody seen that the Players Association and I guess kind of Giannis are fighting back about tanking allegations? You know, they want Giannis to sit out the rest of the year, and he's like, no, I want to play. I'm not hurt. And I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if he'll fine or what's going to happen, but with the actual player asking to play, being a superstar player, and the Players Association behind him saying that this is clear violation and clearly tanking, I'm wondering what happens because we've already seen fines, which you're not going to be able to fine a billionaire. But
I was going to ask that. Does anybody
take
think
away
that's going
the
to
one
end well?
thing they covet?
Does anybody else think that that's not going to end well with Milwaukee? Like Giannis is definitely out, right? Like this is his last season, and
he'll be done in the summer.
Keep saying that, like they keep saying that about Giannis, though, and then he sticks around. And I'm gonna, and is this finally? Is this like the final straw that broke the camel's back for him?
I
would like to say yes, but then all of a sudden he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm back, 3 more years." Who knows?
Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Sign an extension,
right? Like everybody's like, "Oh my God, Giannis is gonna leave. We're gonna be nothing. Oh, Milwaukee's gonna suck." And then here he is again.
I think he's playing the psychological game. Every time he says, I haven't asked for a trade, and he hasn't. But then his play and some of the things that he does, it kind of says otherwise. Same thing here. It says, I want to play. You don't really want to play because you think there's anything that's going to happen with the Bucks for the next 2 months. Nothing's going to happen. You're showcasing yourself, proving to somebody on your next team that, that you're healthy and aren't going to fail a physical, and we're not going to have like there's another Max Crosby situation. I think he's showcasing for the summer. I think it's already a done deal, and personally, I think he's already in the agreement with the ownership. I think this is just one thing that they disagree on.
It's a shame. You got a lot of the older generations complain about the new players and being soft and not wanting to play and all this, and then you get a situation like this where guy just wants to go in and get on the court, and the team's like, no.
And I just don't know why they suck.
Feels like going backwards.
You picked up Miles Turner. Kyle Kuzma is still Kyle Kuzma. He's never going to win anything, but he's going to get your buckets. And Bobby Portis, a couple other guys. I mean, team ain't that bad, but they just happen to suck.
Yeah,
it's like one of those Moneyball things.
Shouldn't be as bad as they are, but we don't have any Bucks fans in the bar right now. That's for sure. I haven't seen a single Bucks jersey hanging around.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh man!
If you do, it's probably going to be a Kareem jersey. I have one of those, a Bucks Kareem.
Paul, what's going on in Portland, man?
Just trying to do not too good, but not bad. Just trying to stay in play-in game status. Told you my guys want to play basketball, so we want to play those extra games to prove ourselves. We'll stand for nothing more than 8 to 10, or was it 7 to 10? 7 to 10. There's no way that we compete consistently on a daily or weekly basis or in a series with a couple of the top teams. I mean, they're juggernauts at the top. Similar to how it is kind of in the East. I mean, with the Celtics and Pistons, and nobody really wants to admit it, and I'm not either. But sometimes Knicks on every other Tuesday can be a pretty elite team. We're not that status. We don't have any of the Our one all-star is the guy that nobody's ever heard of, but that's how I love him. I'm hoping to be able to have some cap space and people will want to come. I think we're going to have to get a new coach though, but I see that the Heat relieve themselves of Terry Rozier now, so hopefully we can do the same with Chauncey Billups and start that process earlier than everybody else and kind of get a head start on it. But we'll see. I've been really happy with the year. I really thought it was going to be, and that really sucks actually. Now that I'm saying it, I'm like, you just had the best draft class in 25 years almost, and anywhere in the top 10 would have been just swell. And now we might be like right outside the top 10. So typical Portland thing to do. Can't screw up the second pick if you don't get it though, right?
It's true. That's true.
Yeah, but this class is loaded. I don't want to talk too much college basketball in here. I was just saying to somebody the other night, like I truly have watched enough college basketball to say that, like I really think there's a lot of talent coming to the next level, and especially just the freshmen from a long time. I mean, even not just the top three between Acuff and Debansa and Boozer. Like anyone between, after that is still the kid from Houston. I'm blanking on his name. Koa Pete is gonna come out from Arizona. Even like Luxembourg from Michigan. Like there's a lot of talent in this draft. This is like the draft that you want to be in the lottery for the first time. I mean, imagine you had a top 3 pick when, I'm not sure where Portland picked, but the year that it was like Zachary Rees-Archet and Alex Sarr and like, yeah.
I mean, that's how it goes for the Wizards and the Hawks, though. I mean, those are the kind of picks and opportunities that they get. Basketball guys just don't want them to have anything good.
The Wizards are fortunate to be there year after year, so they'll get another chance this year in the good class.
Yep. That's what I was going to say, too. I mean, with the Sixers, it's good that they're not in the lottery because they would screw it up. They would figure out a way to screw it up.
It's part of the process.
They have a pick that could potentially be, I think it's top 6 protected or something like that. I forget what it is.
That's what I was just trying to remember.
Yeah, but again, it'll end up being that if they do end up getting it, they'll screw it up, but it'll probably end up falling outside of that, and they'll end up giving it up. Like they won't get it because it's protected. So, I'm fully, but they have like 4 second-round picks. That'll help. Could have had Jared McCain, but no, you traded in Oklahoma City for 2 second-round picks. I think they got something.
Was that a new incoming meme from Kyle on that one?
I think maybe.
Might be.
I think they have the terms wrong for the lottery. Like the second round is the lottery. They are non-guaranteed contracts where you're going to find Kawhi Leonard, or you're going to find some guy that's literally going to be on the podcast next week. Either going to have a lot of money or a lot of time, one of the two. Like there's usually not too much in between. But I mean, that's where the lottery is. Because you think about what a lottery is, it's just like getting lucky.
Yep.
It's not a lottery like you're stacking the balls or stacked, towards one team or another. Lottery is everybody's got the same odds and they aren't very good. So, the chances of you finding like your next superstar in the second round is very slim. No one wants to be in the second round either because you got nothing guaranteed at all. I think it's scary as hell being drafted in the second round. Scary as hell, especially in the NIL days.
I was just going to say, you might as well be better back in college.
Yeah, yep. Like that's when you really got to weigh it. Like if you're a mid-second rounder where it doesn't really matter what you do in the combine, nobody's going to take a flyer on you for just one of your attributes they think is just off the charts. If you don't think that's going to happen right now, I mean, 10 years ago, you'd be an idiot not to go in if you were a solid second rounder because there wasn't much to go back to unless you went to Duke and they were paying $20 million teams for 30 years, bastards. But now, AJ Devonsa got like 6-7 million last year. So if he were to come back, they literally would sell body parts in their like biology department for like 10 years to try and recoup the amount of millions that they were going to have to give him. But if you're a mid-second round pick, I mean, that's a great deal. Go back and double whatever the heck you just had. And you at least got to declare just to kind of scare them into, let you know that you're serious about it. But go back and get or who gives a crap? Go out there and play for the G League, then go back and get your $7 million after making $50,000 a month.
There you go.
Because apparently you're allowed to.
You are. I like it.
Well, hey, let's take a quick break. And before we do, I would like to just say thank you to our sponsors, Sparrow Hair Studios and Lancaster, PA. You're out that way and you need your haircut, go stop and see Lean. She will hook you up. I haven't seen Lewis lately, but I'm sure he is looking flying on point as he goes there pretty regularly. Second up, we have Lotwin 3D Hype Chains. I was just looking at his website yesterday, going through looking some of the stuff they've made. They made some crazy stuff for people. A lot of like those high school logos and big chains they make. Got some pretty cool stuff on there. So if you're looking to get anything made to rep your team or just something you got going on in your social groups, check them out. Promo code TCCPOD will get you 10% off any custom order. So go ahead and use that. And our third sponsor /
that's going to do it for the sponsors.
Kyle, would you like to take this one?
Sure. Yeah. Shout out to none other than Mr. Jim Montgomery. And this day in Philly sports history, every day he takes you down memory lane with historical facts and stats about Philadelphia sports. And you had just mentioned Lotwin. Jim was the fantasy football champion this year, and I have his Lotwin chain. Thank you to Paul in my possession.
As predicted on last week's episode, that the chain would not actually make it to Jim and would end up in Kyle's hands.
That is.
What do we say? As long as it got in the hands of a Montgomery,
I
can do this.
Yep. Now they can fight it out.
So,
I don't know.
There
I
you
don't
go.
think Jim deserves the chain or the sponsorship shout out after having to miss out on March Madness because of work.
Oh, he deserves a
second
shout
that.
out, but I'm pretty sure Kyle's keeping the chain.
Oh yeah, he'll never see that chain. Absolutely. Yeah.
You're gonna write
Yeah.
toilet bowl champ on top of it?
Oh no. I'm gonna wear that thing proud. I may actually wear it to Easter Sunday.
Oh, that'd be
Yes.
hilarious. I want video reaction. Your wife behind you as you walk in and he sees it.
Done. Oh, done. Absolutely.
Deal.
You know I'm a man of the people. I will make
Right.
that happen.
Deal.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right. Well, hey, let's take a quick break and we will be right back. What up, everybody? The Beard is here. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, the law offices of William P. Harrington. Credit card litigation, Chapter 7 bankruptcy, estate planning, estate administration, guardianships, they do it all. As a member, listener, follower, supporter of our network, they are offering you a 15% discount on these services. So if you are in the Pennsylvania or New Jersey area, schedule your free consultation today.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back to the second half, everybody. We got our wheels up here. We're going to get these things spinning and get 3 new categories for next week's competition. Hopefully, everybody watches some NBA games next week because I don't think much of that happened this previous week with all the college stuff going on.
Correct.
Yeah. Points team total.
Wrap it up.
That's an easy, solid one.
Wrap it up. Hornets are about to put 140 on the Kings.
It starts
Put 'em-
tomorrow.
We're on pace.
Paul minus one.
There it is, Christy.
Yeah. Single point.
Paul minus one.
Means none of us have
You
to
are
take
welcome.
a -1 either.
So
It's just him by himself.
So Paul can give -1 to any single player, just so I understand.
That was like literally special requested 3 minutes before I said, welcome back to the second half. So I'm not sure what we're doing with it other than giving you -1.
Okay, as long as it's transferable.
And turnovers, single player.
Johnny has 5 apples.
Yeah. Thank you, Patty.
You're not getting this one again, Mike.
Not at 1. I can guarantee. Well, it's a single player, so it's a much different category. But no, that was the category last time. You're right. So yeah, not at 1. I get so confused by this one. And what was the last one? What was the last thing standing?
I forget already.
Or are we going with Paul -1 as the third thing?
Yeah.
So we only got 2 categories this week then?
And a Paul -1.
All right.
I like it.
Yeah.
I feel like there's going to be a fun
that's what
asterisk
happens
with that.
when you throw wrenches in the middle of it. We figure out what happens, right?
No, I like it.
We'll have fun,
You can
we'll have
dodge a
fun with
wrench,
this
you can
one.
dodge a ball.
Oh,
Absolutely.
good reference.
As the current leader, I'm fine with fewer points being given out.
Of course you would be.
Let's not give people a chance to catch up to me. No points the rest of the year would be just great.
So I am genuinely curious of at what point do you guys start transitioning out of college into NBA? Like, are you guys already about there, or is there still hardcore focus right now with college basketball?
I don't know. I feel like I'm probably, I'm going to watch, I watch the Celtics when they're on and everything like that. But I feel like if there's a college game on from the Sweet 16 on, that's usually I'm not going to watch the NBA over it personally, but I will, I'm not going to not keep track of the Celtics either. Like, I just feel like it's one of those things. It's the same thing like in June. Like, I love baseball, but if there's an NBA Finals or an NBA, Eastern Conference Finals game or Western Conference Finals game on, I'm not going to watch the Mets over that at that point in time. So I don't think it degrades the NBA at all, but I feel like as a basketball fan, especially a big college basketball fan, I'm not going to miss much March Madness for the NBA.
There's only 15 games left anyways. There's only 15 games spread over 3 weeks.
Kyle, your bad players take steroids, and they still suck.
At least they're trying to get better.
Yep.
It's not working.
That's the Montgomery way. At least you tried.
I don't even know what that means. No.
At least you tried.
Listen, we all can't be ROAS, okay? Just remember that.
Yeah.
Hey, how's Pete Alonso doing, by the way? Sorry, not to hijack the NBA. But
he's great. He's doing well. He's over there. I don't know. I heard he's trying to make a new Montgomery sibling with your mother.
Wow.
Went right there.
So, Steve, to answer your question,
she's a really nice lady, Karen.
I'm about 95% college. 95% college right now. I'm not ready to switch over. And yeah, Karen Montgomery's a saint. So you shut your mouth, Patty.
I'm going to take her to a nice seafood dinner and never call her again.
I would agree with Kyle, but there is only 15 games left over the next, 10, 15 days, whatever it is. So you've got a good 3 days of nothing except NBA. So if they can put on some good primetime games, I'm good for Monday through Wednesday. And then it just means that the Sweet 16 and then Elite 8 and all those kind of games like this weekend, I think is going to be so sweet. All those games are freaking awesome. I can't wait.
Yep.
But I think NBA final, or it didn't have to be the NBA finals. But of course, first couple rounds of the NBA playoffs, there's so many teams and they play so many games that you're still going to have a couple games every single night. So, yeah, and most of those are going to be pretty bomb matchups anyway. So it gets pretty exciting around that time. But I don't think until after the NFL draft will really make that switch for NBA playoffs and all that, because the draft is only a couple weeks after the Final Four.
Yep.
I would like to put this out there that I know there's, I am maybe the most excited for the college football final. Or sorry, let's try that again. I am the most excited for the college basketball final because For the first time in a long time, spring break is early because of where Easter falls. So I will actually be able to sleep in the next day after a 9:20 tip off or something, that whatever they do usually. So I'll actually be able to stay up for the game for once. So I am very excited for that.
Good. Yeah, I agree. That those 9:45 tip offs are they're brutal. Absolutely brutal.
Especially when it's your team.
Yes.
I looked at the schedule when it came out and saw UConn at like a 10 p.m. tip, and I was like, oh, I mean, I'm awake anyway, but like, I just hate being the last game. Like, you're tired, you've been doing it for 10 or 12 hours all day, and like, just it's better when your team plays early.
Yep, it's 1 a.m. 1 a.m. for sure, regardless of win or lose, because your adrenaline's not shutting down right off the bat.
Yeah, yep.
So, and then if they win, you're probably up a little later. But if they lose, you're probably up all night because you're pissed off. So
you said that like you had some experience recently.
Absolutely.
And we have that conversation every year. Like, we hope the Badgers get like a 5 p.m. time for us is perfect. And then like we got the early game, even though they were playing out in Oregon, we were like, wow, we thought for sure it was gonna be a late game. And people are just so annihilated by a 9 o'clock tip off for us that it's just ugly. But then we saw the opposite effect with them playing the fourth game of the day, that it just ruined the rest of our day when they lost. So yeah, I feel like there's never a good time as far as from my standpoint with a bar for a team to play, minus like that like 3:30 game or like that first 5-6 o'clock Central Time game. But yeah, I mean, everything for around here, I mean, we didn't see anybody really around Saturday or Sunday to watch any of the rest of the college games. People are, like I said, fair weather. Obviously, I don't have any skin in the game with the Tar Heels going down right away, which Paul called. I was hoping they would go a little bit further, but no. So I'm fully focused on NBA, even though my team sucks, and I'm excited for opening day on Thursday for baseball.
There you go. I like it.
I think that was a perfect segue for our episode, I think, actually, to be honest.
I agree.
I didn't have to give any of my analogies about landing and whatever else. Blowing shit up.
No, you did not, and you do not have to either. So
is that context?
Good. I got it from
Does
here.
That count for context, or are we getting one of these?
I think so. I think you have to.
I think anybody can
minus
X him at any point.
-1 just went to -2, maybe.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty accurate for the context.
You're living up to your offensive name. You definitely win that title again.
Well, I can tell you this. I got to take an X here in a minute, so let's go ahead and go.
All right, we're going to get out of here. We will see a good chunk of you guys in the next recording coming up soon. Everybody else, I will talk to you in the chat. See you on the pod.
Yeah.
Please let us know if you've seen Juice. Let us know.